What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Four Square Podcast. As always, it's your boy Jeff.
It's your boy Ranger Cowboy Alex.
I'm just Lucas.
This your boy Ranger Cowboy Alex.
Woo!
Yeah! Get it up, baby. Hey, how about them dogs, damn boy?
Let's get Italy dang do. We'd like to introduce our special guest. He spent his whole life on a boat out here sailing the seven seas and out here joining mysteries and stuff. We'd like to welcome to the stage Luffy. Luffy,
Hold on. He is the ultimate liberator. Sun God Nika himself.
Look, man,
Luffy, we appreciate you for taking the time away from your crew.
It was a gift, and I wanted to wear it today.
I appreciate you for joining us today, for telling us the experience of being a captain on the seven seas. I appreciate you.
Sashibudana.
I can't swim.
Mugiwara.
I can't swim.
No, really.
Captain of a ship, I can't swim.
He can't.
That's
He
the
cannot
first
swim.
thing about not being a pirate. What not to do?
You can't swim?
No, he can't. You eat a devil fruit, and you it's like a contract. You eat the devil fruit, and the sea turns on you. So like, no matter how much seawater, you lose all your strength. Like you just drown.
That is insane.
Yeah. Crazy. You can't. You literally can't move.
Mm-hmm. Found out that even if you're a fisherman, you can breathe underwater. You just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
You just kind of wait.
Yeah.
Well, unsolicited. Shout out to One Piece.
One Piece is great.
One Piece.
Yes. One Piece is currently thriving. They have the live action that had like good success came out.
Manga's going.
Did you actually
Manga's
see
going
the
crazy.
live action?
I did. He has not yet. I did.
Was it actually good?
It started off really, really good. I think overall, like it did break the curse of like live action adaptations. They put a fuck ton of money into it though, which is the only way you could even get a fraction of anime potential. But my personal thing was like it kind of like got less good in the end, not because of like anything big. It's just they changed up a couple things to condense into an 8-episode series. And
Okay, so it actually is a series. It's not a movie.
no, it's a series, and it makes sense why they did it for like Netflix adaptation. It was just as someone who enjoys the manga and the anime, it was different.
There's only so much you can really pack into 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they made. I'm sure they made sure to hit on the high points, right?
oh no, they did. Yeah. They did. They had a lot of like side by side like frame. The fight with Zoro and Mihawk was like almost like frame for frame, like equal. It was pretty cool.
What about line for line? Because you can't leave out the
Word for word, ball for ball.
You can't leave out. The,
He said it. He modified the line a little bit, but it was the same. It was like essentially the same.
I like the original.
You know how it goes. Dub to sub. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So when they make that live action Avatar, I'll be, a little more.
I have high expectations. I have
No,
very high
Netflix is making an adaptation.
Is it live action? Oh, it is.
It is live action.
Yeah.
They've already done a couple sneak releases.
Didn't they already do that?
Photos and
Didn't they already
Doesn't
make
exist.
a movie?
I don't know what the hell you talking about.
No.
They already made a movie though.
Fake news.
That was a practice run.
I don't even know what the hell you
It
talking
wasn't even a practice run. It doesn't exist.
Fan
about.
fiction.
You're right.
Yeah.
Look. I know two things in this life. There is no live action Avatar: Last Airbender, and the One Piece is real.
Yeah. Look, if you go to M. Night Shyamalan's filmography, there's just a blank slate right there in 2010. It's not there.
If you see any images or like trailers or video clips,
Or any posters, just take
like
it out.
really good, really
news.
dedicated YouTubers.
It's fake news.
Exactly.
It's really great.
But we're not here to talk about anime.
You're right.
What are we here to talk about?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Us four men sitting at a table together talking about here today.
What is a man?
Because I forgot.
How dare you assume my Let me stop.
This is how we're actually going to transition into the topic. And you talked about me last season. Okay.
Alex, Alex, the most important lesson when digging a hole is learning when to put the damn shovel down.
They talk about me. And
Keep on digging. We're gonna make it in China, boy.
I was about to say, give me a shovel, boy. We'll keep digging. We gonna keep digging.
Grandpa, I'm tired. Well, that's too
Keep
digging.
If you did not know that reference, you were not born in the 90s. And you didn't have a good childhood.
Shit, that movie is 20 years old now.
Shit, that book.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Even
03.
older.
Book's even older.
Holes is a classic.
God.
Book's
Watch
even older.
Holes.
But yes,
Watch Holes.
All right, let's stop getting into tangents.
we are here to talk about though essentially like if one blatant question, what it is to be a man, and like that's a very loaded question, especially in this day and age. But
Right.
truly, like it is an interesting question because you hear that. Okay, I'll say one thing. You hear that question from a lot of people. You know, your first instinct is to get ready for some bullshit come out of their mouth. But truly, it is something that is worth talking about because I think it's important to understand the dynamic of like how men interact in society. You know, personal responsibility, accountability, understanding, and just like generally knowing your audience, knowing your environment.
One thing I'll say, right, is with us here at Foursquare, I would say the relationship episode last season was probably our most popular episode. So
If you haven't watched it, please go watch
go
it.
watch it, and we're gonna have a part 2. That's gonna be the season finale. And one of the things that we decided to do leading up to that season finale, because we want some women's input as well, is what can us men do? Because a lot of the podcasts that have been going on since the pandemic really has been one-sided when it comes to podcasts that are men dominated.
It's male centric.
What can we do to have our women feel more comfortable when it comes to relationships? What can we do as men to help them feel safe in their femininity and everything?
And full disclaimer, we are talking like we are mainly talking about like heterosexual man and women relationships, and that's mainly that is because of our own personal experiences. I mean, we could talk about touch on the dynamics about other gender identities and sexualities, but the truth of the matter is, there are just some things that there are the things that we are more knowledgeable about and we understand more, but there are also things that if we want to contribute to the conversation, we want to contribute in a way that we can help and not try to stir the pot on things that we may not be.
We're trying to make stuff better.
Yeah.
And also just on it's based off of also Foursquare's idea. Our motto is to change the narrative, which is to create a more positive outlook on male dominated podcasts. And so we're supposed to we're creating a safe space for us to have open and honest dialogue and actually be open and honest and real with ourselves about these current topics and issues. And also the thing that I will gas us up about is that like we're not afraid to correct each other. We're not afraid to call each other out. We do hold each other to a higher standard of like whenever we're saying something. Like, yeah, I say off the wall shit all the time. But like when it comes to like real genuine stuff, no, like we tighten up and we have a real honest conversation. So I'm definitely glad that we're able to sit down and actually discuss this. So
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
You punks is sissified.
all right, pops.
Pops. Damn,
So quick to pick up a gun.
So quick to pick up a gun.
This what makes you a man.
And I'll say too, to boost us up, like on Instagram, like for a good 3-4 months after that relationship episode in season 2, 64% of our followers were women.
Yep.
So they really like what we had to say because we're not toxic like that.
What is toxicity?
We try not to be toxic.
What is toxic?
What is
what is toxic masculinity though?
Okay, yeah, that's a good segue.
That's the first thing, yeah.
Toxic masculinity. Ooh, layers. Like onions and ogres and cake, it has layers.
I will start off with the first layer. A lot of that shit is ego.
Okay.
It is fueled off of ego. It's fueled off of the idea of men being driven from power and domination and control.
The male
A
power
lot of
complex.
most men, some men thrive off of the ability of being able to dominate over somebody or oppress or feel like they have that edge over somebody. So a lot of times I feel like when they're always able to say like who's in control, who's in charge, they always like to emphasize that they're in control. A lot of that shit is just them being able to say, this is me, I can do what I want, and I dare you to say something about it. So a lot of it is all ego. It's all, actually, you're not even thinking with this, you're thinking with this.
Yeah.
There's also a level to it where, there's one thing I've heard well said is, this world, our society is built for men, essentially, built by men for men.
This is a man's world.
Because
Hashtag Barbie. Kins. Kins. What? Casa Dojo.
Mojo Dojo.
Mojo Dojo. Casa House. Yes.
Basically, what I'm getting at though is like it's an idea that we there are there are difficulties associated with like just being a man, being a woman, being and having multiple different identities. But the boil down to it, like more often than not, men are given a lot of grace, slack, leeway. We're given a lot of opportunity to fail, and with like no real criticism or consequence to it. And a lot of attributing to the idea of ego is it builds up this sense of false confidence that men can do no wrong. Like they are the man of the house. They have full say, full control of everything. Power complex, domination. It is they feed into this idea that because they are led to believe the world is for them, that they have no sense of accountability for other people around them, especially not men.
Listen, man. I'll say this. CIA done did a number on this, boy. As men as a whole.
Explain.
All right. I'm going to explain.
Oh, we are so in the rabbit hole.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is
All right. So I think really the generation right before us, millennials, they kind of got the effects more than we did. And then now it's kind of trickling down towards us and our kids' kids and our kids and our kids' kids, yada, yada, yada. But there was a lack of, how I think of toxic masculinity is, yes, there's huge ego, but with huge ego comes a lack of understanding of oneself. And when you actually truly understand who you are, you realize that you have both divine masculine, which kind of is more so defined as like your logical side, like your analytical side, the side that you kind of want to base your decisions off of this side. But you also have the divine feminine, and everything works in harmony. Your divine feminine is your emotional side, your side that allows you to be open and honest and feel, right? And a lot of men, they either have way too much of that feminine side where they act too irrational, because when you have too much emotion, you start to act a little bit out of pocket, out of reason, and that's where you see a lot of these violent moments. But I'm going to use black men especially just because that's something that I see prominently. You see a lot of these violent moments because a lot of people can't control their emotions. And you can kind of attribute that, and why I said the CIA did a number on us, because we lack a lot of father figures in specifically our community. Not to leave you out, Lucas, but
Okay, now I know what you're getting at.
yes, you have the lack of father figures in order to teach us.
I understood. Once he started to go into that route, I was like, okay, I see exactly what he's saying.
In order to teach us how to actually think rationally, but as well as be able to feel. And that's what we get from, being able to feel is what we get from our mothers. But being able to act rationally and make good decisions, we get that from our fathers, which we lost. Well, I won't say we all lost, but, there's very few.
A lot of people.
A majority.
It's
Vast majority.
funny enough. That one part at the end is like, I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I think there's like a little bit more to it, because I think that part of like evolving society in our generations is redefining gender roles within families. There's an idea, if you ask people that didn't grow up with a mother or a father, or for example, you're not necessarily deprived of anything so much. You're deprived of having missing that, obviously, but what if to the best of their ability, you grow up with a single mom, your mom does her best to fulfill the role of teaching you how to be a gentleman, how to be how to be strong but also be vulnerable. So it's the idea that a father is responsible for certain things and a mother is responsible for other things, but they can't mix and mingle. I don't know. I feel like that kind of limits us in our growth a little bit.
No, I wasn't trying to say that at all. But there's a boundary that certain people can reach.
It's not to
there's
say
only
that
so much that you can be taught.
So to your point, so there's the argument of a mother can't raise a boy on how to be a man. It's some people would say that single mothers can only raise their boys to be a good kid, but a father is needed to raise the boy to matriculate into manhood, into adulthood. Some people will argue that that is true, and some people argue that it's false.
Well, like you said,
I-
there's a lot of nuance.
There's plenty of nuance.
There's a lot. There's a lot of.
But also, I want to also point out that one thing that I want us to also recognize is that from our perspectives,
Just notice that.
a factor that I could say that has worked is that all of us, yes, we're 4 straight men. All of us were raised in a space where we both knew both parents. We're some of us were raised as only kids. Some of us were raised as siblings, but we do recognize that there is a difference between people who are raised with one as opposed to 2.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's not so much like a responsibility thing. Like with my parents, they would mix and mingle like the lessons. Like sometimes like my mom would take like more like traditionally paternal like lessons, and my dad would like teach me certain things. Like, part of it is like in the scope of what their parents are capable of personally. So, and like it's a big impact just having them there. I think the biggest impact really is just like having them, the presence. Exactly. Like
I was about to say we're kids. Thing is,
Sponges.
from kids do a phenomenal job at learning. If you're a kid that doesn't learn,
They absorb
things,
everything.
Because
they
their brains
take
are
in
sponges.
everything that they're seeing. That's why sometimes when you just see kids just stare at you, it's not that like they're staring at you to be weird. They're just trying to figure you out and figure who you are.
One thing I will say, when it comes to, because I know, Lucas, you mentioned before how society kind of makes it so that dudes or like, guys can't fail. I wouldn't say that necessarily. What I would say is I think they took the idea of idealized masculinity and then corporations made that into a commodity to sell that to you, which is why they'll say things like, men need to wear suits and stuff like that, and, why you need to buy certain things, buy a watch or walk a certain way or do things a certain way so they can make a profit off of that. So as far as what masculinity and femininity is, I think those are innate, but the way we go about it is basically from corporations trying to make a profit off of people.
it's more than corporations though. Like think about it. When you were talking, like let's say you get like, two people together, get a guy, like you talk about a guy and a girl. And you talking to a girl, you teach her like, careful when you go out, don't go out alone, watch out for like dangerous men, watch out for this, watch out for that. Like they're teaching you how to like defend yourself against men, but you don't often get like, it feels like there is on the opposite side a lack of teaching for the other side of that lesson, like teaching men,
How to not be fucking creepy.
exactly, don't be a creep, how to be someone that women can like feel safe around. Type thing, like how to make yourself not a threat, and because there's it's like this idea that like it almost sounds like you're putting responsibility on the woman's lap to account for everything and be responsible for everything, but there's really like there's just a general expectation like, oh, be a good guy, be a good man, but there's no real lessons of accountability.
There's no real definition of like there's no real lessons or nobody's actually actively teaching.
Because it's a personal journey.
And
They'll give you this outline, like I said, but also that outline is from corporations and stuff like that too. A good amount of it is what I think.
I do think it's also, but it's still case by case, even though it's still kind of very vague and generic. There is a way on people to teach even with that. Like for example, like my dad never really. It's not that my dad never really gave me like a guide on like how to approach women or how to talk to women. My dad would just say, say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, be a gentleman, hold the door open for people, like just general basic stuff. And then also it's, as a kid, I'm watching how my dad interacts with people. I watch how my dad interacts with both men and women, and just knowing how people just would gravitate toward him just based off of his presence. He carries himself with a confident presence. He speaks very well. He's charming. He's charismatic. Like he knows how to like just appease people and speak to people. And that's something where it's just like, okay, so there's a way on how to speak to people and how to not speak to somebody. Because then when I watch people who are disrespectful, who are more aggressive, those type of people, it's like, okay, so I don't want to do that, but I want to do this. Those things you can take as lessons.
But those are innate traits, though.
They are.
It's one thing. The wording you said.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Earlier, you said something. The wording I thought was fascinating. You were like, like this idea that some people believe that mothers raise kids into like into young people, and then the father is like raising that young person into a man, so to speak. And it's like I feel like that inherently like pulls up a lot of flags in just that general way of thinking, because it's like, first of all,
No, that wasn't like my perspective.
I know.
Those are theories that are just.
I know it wasn't your perspective. I know it wasn't your perspective. I'm just saying like that frame of thinking, the fact that like it's a thought, like people have had that thought, people have had that thought process. It goes to show that the people do believe that is wholeheartedly true. And the problem with that I see is, one, you get, I feel like without who better to like help you understand, how to like interact with, in the specific case, how to interact with women, how to like treat women, how to make women feel, like how you make women feel. Who better to teach you that than a woman? Like who teach you than your mom? Because more often than not, it feels like your mom has been through that. Your mom, because like
I think that's why both are needed, because you need both perspectives.
Yeah.
Yes.
A mom, like my mom, yes. Like when I talked about relationships, I talked about, I got my mom's perspective on how to interact. I got my dad's perspective. Although they're both useful, it's not that I'm saying that I believe my dad's word over my mom's. I'm just saying that like I need both so that I can know how both think, so that I can make the best decision out of learning from both. Some people don't have that option, and some people are only able to give one perspective.
but people
Funny though, bro. Like you had, I mean, you did that. I've never asked my parents about any relationship advice or anything.
Yeah, me.
Because I'm be honest with you, like the way I went about, like especially like with relationships and stuff, I went about treating women, because I like women, of course. I went about that by treating them as people.
Yes.
Like you're a person.
Yes.
And I want you to be treated like a fucking person. So obviously I'm gonna use the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. Obviously, I want to be treated with respect, so I'm going to treat you with respect.
That's where that line where it's like the toxic part is the treating women like they're disposable, like get hoes or whatever. But then there's the other side where you put them on a pedestal in the sense of, okay, like you definitely, what Max was saying, treat them with respect, but don't do it to a point where you're acting like a fan of that person. Like you literally bigging them up just for being pretty, because it actually makes girls uncomfortable when you do that.
That's the trade of that's the factor of like where toxic masculinity leads into. It seems like there's a way that you talk to women and a way you talk to men. There should be a baseline.
Yes.
Like to Max's point, there was always a baseline of just being nice. I was always just nice to people, regardless of whether they were big, small, tall, short, fat, skinny, ugly. Like no, it didn't matter what you look like. I was just gonna be nice and say hi.
You're a person.
And so but I think that's where the factor is that it seems like they're catering and targeting your behavior based off of the person that you approach, and that's how it becomes toxic.
toxic masculinity also comes from a place of lacking empathy, unable or unwilling to understand the perspective of others. And in this example, specifically understanding perspective of women. So I think it's part of it is the idea of entitlement. Also, is like
It's very difficult being a woman.
I can go out downtown Athens, walk around. I have done this before at any time at night. I walk around alone, and I feel like I
Nobody's
have
gonna mess with you.
my natural head on a swivel idea, but I don't feel this like sense of fear, paranoia. I look over my shoulder generally. I don't have this idea where I'm constantly looking every corner, making sure I'm in a well-lit area, making sure there's people within screaming distance. I don't have to think about these things, and that's a privilege. But a lot of
where you park your car, like do we all?
But a lot of men take that as like, oh, this is a privilege. Like they don't really understand the privilege. Like, oh, this is cool, whatever. Instead of understanding, it's like, wow, I have this privilege, but what about women? They don't have that privilege. Like
They got to be very strategic about where they park and where they're going or where they're going here. Like whenever Erin parks to go to work, she always like, because where she is and where her school is they have like the parking structure, but then like how it's set up in LA, it's like the structure's not always that big and it can't fit everybody. So sometimes she has to park on the side of the road, and I'm always more mindful when she parks on the side of the road because I don't want nobody to run up on her.
exactly.
As she's getting out of her car or something. Like,
How do you think I feel, bro? My girlfriend just moved to one of the biggest cities in the world. She has to ride the subway constantly around a bunch of different.
And at that moment, you never know when she's on the bus and somebody could be weird, could be gropey, be touchy,
because you lose signal when you're in the subway. So whenever she gets off, she'll call me immediately, just so like when she's walking home, because she still has like a 7-block walk from subway stop to her house. It's like, damn, bro, like
It's a lack
it's
of
a lot on my mind.
It's something that we always worry about.
it's also just a lack of accountability on that track of empathy. Like you don't take into consideration what other people feel, what other people go through, and you think that what you feel, what you understand is a standard, and you don't really. A lot of dudes, toxic dudes, just don't care, and it's like they're like the toxic masculinity can go as extreme as being like, oh, you got like attacked, you're fearful. Well, maybe you should watch what you wear. Maybe you should watch where you're going. Type shit.
Right.
Like dog, be accountable for yourself and be accountable for other people, like other men, because they're the problem. And it's I just remember. I'm so sorry. I'm on a roll here. It's also if you say something like all men are trash or like men ain't shit. Notice the people who get like the most offended by it, are usually the people who are in questions, like who are like the people in question, because their idea is like they feel personally attacked, like they make it personal, they make it about them. It's like men ain't shit, and it's like you have like this need to prove that you're not part of the problem, and it's like why not just be? If you're so comfortable and like know that you're not part of the problem, then why are you screaming about it?
But if you're already like that, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, this alpha male mentality, this like idea like I'm a sigma,
That's just really funny as fuck to me, because you kind of like you see it in real time, and you're just like the people that get gravitated towards, who are comfortable in themselves, you can kind of tell like that's who is actually there versus people that are on podcasts like, listen, man, I'm an alpha male, I make 6 figures, I do, I work out, do all this shit.
My woman don't tell me what to do.
Bro, like, come on, bro. Like,
But
you still kind of an egotistical bitch.
People, the men,
Mic drop.
the people who get the most love, attention, attraction, tend to be the most disciplined and sound person. The one who's already confident enough where they don't have to go out and prove anything. I know who I am as a person, and you're either gonna like me or not, but I'm still gonna be able to walk with my head held high.
I can't even lie to you, bro. That just had me thinking about how all this connects, bro. It's all
Think about
related to discipline.
Think about how we act. Think about how we go when we're together in Athens. Like, think about all the adventures that we've had every time we've all linked up in Athens, and think about like why it happens. Like, but let's say like not to get us up, but it's just like
Because I'm gorgeous. I'm just kidding.
he's ugly. But we show and we demonstrate
I'm a bad
sense
bitch.
of
Bad bitch.
Bad bitch hour.
we demonstrate a sense of confidence and discipline where we are very controlled in which how we behave and how we interact with people.
But it's still fun.
And then we still have a good time. It's not like we're being uptight or we have sticks up our butts, but
We are considerate.
we move with discipline and intention and confidence to where like we're cool. And yeah, sometimes we might get loud and crack jokes
Bad
or whatever,
bitch
but
o'clock.
like what?
I was
This
looking
is
at
bad bitch o'clock.
bad bitch o'clock. My watch said it's bad bitch. My watch said it's bad bitch o'clock. Anyway, continue what you were
Jesus
saying.
Christ.
You're all right.
Anyways,
It actually says 341.
But let's say the most respected, attracted type of person is the most disciplined and sound person. And a lot of people are not raised with that discipline or structure or have not learned those lessons to where they realize they need to be structured within themselves so that they can go out in the world and they'll be straight. Okay, so we're gonna because we could keep talking about this because there's this in reality would be like a 3-hour podcast about like just all the root causes, but we do need to acknowledge that there are multiple root causes. There's no one root problem, and unfortunately there's no one root solution either. So I would like to have everybody just give their perspective on like what one of the root causes are and what are some ways to help combat that. So I'll start. So one thing that I find is a very troubling root cause is basic human interactions between people in general, regardless of what you look like. But I will, since this is for the men, I will charge the men on this. Men need to recognize that just how you speak to people matters. your words matter. Choosing the right words on how to say and being disciplined with your emotions will go very far with anything that you do. And that's with anybody that you speak to. And so I find it a lot of times difficult on just how people speak to each other. Like I notice like we're so foul on social media, on Instagram and Twitter, and just saying just rude comments, just people just being just outright just disrespectful. It seems like there's
haters.
there's no desire for just how would you feel if somebody said that to you? It's like nobody really cares about like
Internet
how you
ain't real.
speak. Like how you speak matters, and that was something that I definitely grew up with. Like learning is choosing your words very carefully. Like I said, like if you're able to speak on just the setting, then that's fine. But basic human interaction of just how to speak to people, and that starts with just being disciplined within yourself to know how to control your emotions, knowing how to, if you feel the way about something, know how to convey that in a way that helps the other person understand. So if you're shooting your shot at a woman, know how to speak to a woman, know how to approach it without coming off too aggressive and not coming off, too soft or whatever. Like you got to find the balance on how to speak to somebody. And that way you'll be able to, separate a lot of these issues with just making women feel uncomfortable. So start by knowing how to speak. Hi, my name is. Hi, you want to do this. If she says no, take the no and then you walk away. But just those basic interactions of just speaking is something that I found very like troubling, because like when dudes get hurt, like y'all have all seen dudes like shoot their shot and then the girl says no, and he's like, well then fuck you, bitch. Anyways, all right, ain't nobody wants your ugly stuff anyways. No, dude, stop. Like don't do that.
Yeah, you if anything, like doing that, like reacting so outwardly just aggressive, it either proves what they were thinking right, okay, not either. Like you don't. For all you knew, they had like a preconceived notion that maybe like there was something off about you, or maybe like just a general like caution against men type thing, and you making that action further like solidifies and cements that idea that they have.
Or maybe they're just not in the mood to talk to people today. Yeah. Maybe they're just not in the mood. Maybe they just want to be by themselves, enjoy their drink, enjoy the music, and just go on about their day.
Like it's literally not even about you, bro.
Like
they
it's
take
not
it so
you.
personally.
Like I'm just chilling. So
Entitlement.
so that is something that I would want to charge men is know how you're talking to people. Start with yourself and know how do you talk to yourself. How do you talk to your mom? How do you talk to your dad? How do you talk to your siblings? How do you talk to your teachers? Like know how to have good, decent interactions with people and know how to convey your words so that it's genuine, but it's also thorough and it's not bringing off a wrong impression. So that's something that I would charge as one root issue. So next.
That's fair.
That's good.
Very valid.
Somebody go next.
Sensational.
Thanks. Can somebody go next?
Not all at once.
So yeah, speaking on I was trying to go like in order, but we're talking about like discipline. A big thing is also, whether it's discipline of getting up early in the morning, discipline of going to the gym, eating right, making sure you don't procrastinate on tasks, just discipline in general. But a big thing that has been not talked about enough, especially in, more ethnic cultures, like, I'm Caribbean, so I could definitely speak on this, is sexual discipline. There's plenty of times where even today, like a plumber came to the house and he even admitted, he's in his 60s, you know what I'm saying? Real Rock Montine, right, talking about. And he was 15 when he found out who his dad was, because his dad was out there just having sex with a whole bunch of women. Just
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
like that was a thing, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's still a thing. I think it's slowing down now, especially in the Caribbean, but it's a thing to just, oh, she looked good, and the intention is to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, calm down. Like when you do that, that's where the objectification comes in, of why women feel uncomfortable, because they have, either through experience or experiences of other women, of dudes talking to them with the specific goal of trying to smash. So when we talk about discipline, it's like discipline yourself to just talk to people in general. Now, if shorty look nice, be respectful about it and let your intentions be known. Don't try to use your way as a friend, but low key you trying to holler the whole time. Don't do that. Let shorty know. She says no. She says no. She says yeah. Go for it, bro. Cool. But
Excuse me, Miss Lady.
Just wanted to, connect with humans in general.
Hey, shorty with the
like,
shorts.
Hey, shorty with the blue shirt.
Hey, yo, ma.
Like,
You heard me?
come on, man. And
You
then
heard?
I would say I had the privilege of being friends with a lot of women when I was in college, so I really got to see their perspective on things. And of course, you can call it like being a silly young dude or whatever. Where you go out and like, man, we're gonna get some women out here, and it's like, once you become friends with women, you really start seeing like that's not cool, bro. To be going out on some like I'm about to collect women like Pokemon. No.
You say I ain't gonna get some women, man. We finna
People really.
Yeah, where the hoes at? You about to get some hoes. You about to get like nah, man.
At that point,
Yeah.
like the minute you start saying that, like even just like saying where the hoes at or whatever, like you're automatically putting an idea in your own head that you're not going after people. You're not talking to like women. You're talking to conquests. You're talking to side quest objectives. Like you're looking at this like an MMO game. Like you at that point you're already in a losing battle because people sense intention. People sense
This is Assassin's Creed, and I'm collecting all the treasure chests.
yeah, like they can sense intention. They can sense like honest and like honesty. They know what you're after, and whether they expect it or they can just sense it, like they already know. So
calm down when it comes to that.
Losing
And
battle.
fellas, when it comes to your friend groups too, try your best to not big up your friend just because they have more bodies. Like, oh, you got 20 girls, man, you the man. Let's start really going, hey, bro, does the amount of women really matter?
It don't matter.
Or is it the connection you had with her in
Are
general?
you okay, my boy?
Like, come on.
where are you going?
You need a hug? You good, bro?
Fighting right now.
Yeah.
My thing is attached to like what Jeff here said is I think a lot of people use high. My big thing, just put it out, is general like my call to men is figure out how to access empathy. Be empathetic to people that have situations that you don't and cannot understand, and also accountability. Hold yourself and those around you accountable, because there's this idea that this idea that like women need to be so careful of everything, and yet we don't check the people that are responsible for making them be careful about it is ridiculous. It's going in a vicious, stupid circle, because high sex drive is not an excuse for disrespectful and like wanton behavior. It's not. It's like people will reference that. They'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm so horny all the time, man." It's like, I just want some bitches, and it's like
Horny. You better go somewhere and beat your meat.
like yeah, like dog, go buy a fleshlight, go buy a pocket pussy, go buy. I'm serious. You like if you're going that deep into it, like it's how horny you are. You like
No, if you're going that deep, go to therapy.
that too.
Oh, God.
Bring your pocket pussy to therapy with you.
Her name is Sheila.
Her name is Sheila. Look,
Hey, BetterHelp sponsor us, cause God.
look.
Oh
But
my
again-
god.
But there is merit. Like fun. It's funny, yeah. But there is merit. There is merit to the idea because look,
It's very much so.
look. Look. Newsflash, folks. Everybody's horny. Everybody's horny. Some people, naturally like less inclined to that. Whether it's like a preference or what. Like some people just like straight up like identify asexual or aromantic because they don't feel that. They don't feel that kind of vibe. But this one, like an ability to empathize and have it be accountable is just because you're horny doesn't mean somebody else is just gonna suck your dick or get on you to fulfill that, because they're not like. Because people aren't out here to fulfill sexual needs. They're out looking for connections. They're out looking for, respect. They're looking for safety. They're looking for safety because every time a woman steps out, it, as I have understood it, because I will never understand this, is they walk out expecting danger. They expect a threat. They're never fully truly safe. Like I almost got pepper sprayed by a close friend simply because it was dark and I was minding my business. It was dark and she saw a large figure coming at her from a shadow and she didn't want to take a chance. The minute we entered the light, she was like, "Oh my God, hi!" Like she was so happy. It was almost like she was relieved. And like that was like the first moment with me where I really realized that I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't understand this because I never like I and the thing is like people. This is about the accountability and empathy as well. As a dude, you go out, you walk around. You can feasibly walk around any part at night, like general, like neutrally safe area, and ask yourself: do you ever really feel like you're in danger at every turn? Because if you do, interesting. If you don't, then that is a privilege. That is a privilege that you should not take for granted, that you should not hold without regard. Because look, your friend, like one of your girlfriends, one of the girls that you met in your class, I guarantee you they're gonna feel the exact opposite.
A lot of the women, after conversations that I've had, the simple desire from what I've understood is that most women, they just want to feel a sense of protection and safety for them to be able to go out and just go out and do their everyday thing. Yes. And that's regardless if they're going to a party. They could just be going to a grocery store. They could be going out to the bank, to to a bar, to a light. It doesn't matter. They would just want to be able to feel safe in the space that they're going to.
Yes.
And without the fear of any unsolicited or unasked for repercussion. Mm-hmm. And it's a very simple ask. That just seems so very common.
It's not even the approach. It's more they're scared of the retaliation if they say no. That's what they're really afraid of for real.
Yeah, exactly. And like not the big problem, but a big problem is even among the dudes the dudes are part of the problem. We're not talking about the guys who are actively looking to be predators, actively looking to cause these problems or be creeps. Another attributing factor is the people who are not aware, who choose not to be aware. Is the old saying, like evil will triumph when good men stand do nothing type thing. Accountability. You may not be the problem. You may be, perfectly respectable young man. You may be perfectly respectful of women as people. But if you don't hold those around you accountable and you don't recognize that the people who are the problem and help be better and help make things better as an environment, you're unfortunately part of the issue at that point. You're partially responsible now for that. And I know it's like I'm not. It feels like I'm putting like a huge weight on the shoulders of men around, probably because I am. Like my call to men is just, set an example. And big one. Don't expect a gold star for being a good dude. You're not getting a medal. You're not getting a trophy for it. Congratulations. You're a decent human being.
People expecting thank yous out this shit?
Oh, like people. There are dudes. I've heard dudes straight up brag because a girl like declined his advances to hook up and he respected it. I'm like, congratulations. What? You're not an asshole, but you kind of are now for talking about it. Like, it's. I'm sorry. This topic.
Expecting a trophy for this shit.
This topic
to be a good person.
This topic
to be a decent human being. What you expected a trophy for this shit for? Like what? Bro, that's lame.
I go off.
That is lame as hell.
You want a trophy for doing what you already supposed to be doing?
For basic human shit? Like what?
See, we are fundamentally against participation medals, so.
Oh my god.
My kids ain't getting no participation trophy. Nah, you lost.
Look, dog.
Did you get first place? No.
If you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
This kind of like this discussion upsets me a lot, and it shows in the way that like I've been having a hard time like staying on topic and like going off on like these rants because I don't understand that. Like I'm not even just like a man. I'm a white dude. Like I'm even less at risk to walk around and just mind my business. But the thing is, when I see like I've always been able to like kind of feel people's vibes, feel like their emotions a little bit, and like when one of my like female friends comes to me, or like not comes to me, but like is like talking in general about, you know, what they go through, what they experience, what they feel, just in general. And it's like they, even though they talk so casually about it, like I can feel the pain behind it. I can see the fear, and it kills me. It kills me every time, because like there's nothing we can do directly. We can't like stop them at every point. We can't protect them at every point. And it's just like, you know, why can I have this luxury and like of safety and they cannot? So that's why my root problem that I choose to identify was, you know, being more empathetic and holding yourself and others accountable. If I don't care if he's your best friend from kindergarten, if your homeboy is doing some fuck shit with another woman, beat his ass.
Call him out.
Call him out. Hold him to a higher standard. Because if you're not,
point him out.
because otherwise, why are you associating with someone like that?
That's good. That's good, bro.
One thing before Max gets into his point, one thing is also not just when it comes to approaching, you know, women when it comes to respect, but also respecting your partner as well. There's times where, and I know it depends on the background of the person, of how close-minded they can be, but I actually had to sit and call this dude out in one of my college classes because he said, for one, I don't know what stuff he had going on with his girlfriend. He was saying that he wasn't vibing or connected with his girl, like, you know, in a healthier relationship. Not saying that it was not healthy, but they had some problems going on. But his explanation of why he wanted to stay in the relationship is because he could get unlimited head. That was, like, literally, that was one of the things he said. Instead of just being, like, working it out or going and approaching women respectfully, he's like, well, if I stay with my girlfriend, I can get unlimited head. And I was like, what's wrong with you, man?
Fucking God, bro.
Why would you say that?
That's such a youthful answer.
What's wrong with you? That's where your mind went because it's convenient. I'm done. Go ahead, Max.
Oh my God, that's such an 18, 19-year-old answer though, bro. That shit kind of funny. That shit not funny to y'all?
No, it's no. Truly,
He was about to graduate, so he's like 22.
Oh shit.
no.
Hey, yo, but that's the thought process of a lot of people.
It's
though.
funny in the sense where it's like it's so ridiculous you can't believe it's actually something somebody said.
Oh God.
I'm like,
But I'm like we're probably all say I might like, correct me if I'm wrong here. I feel like we're sitting here not laughing because like it's not surprising. It goes to like just amplify like more precedent to the growing issue. Just the idea that people say like the dumbest shit.
I'm willing to laugh about that shit because it's fucking ridiculous, bro. This shit's mad ridiculous.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's up to me now, huh?
Yeah, no pressure.
Ain't none. Never any pressure, baby. Ice knee veins. But yeah, it's still warm. But yeah, I guess my final viewpoint here is something actually I've been thinking about for years, and something that I've noticed within myself as well as like people that are around me. But ultimately, it all comes down to men being able to kind of step away from everything and look at the big picture, do some introspection. And I'm sure I've said this before in many other episodes, introspection is so important. Because whenever I took that step back, I kind of looked at things, looked at my own experiences, and was able to kind of pinpoint the things that went wrong, and I was able to fix those things within myself because I was willing to do that work. And one thing that I've noticed amongst a lot of men, specifically, is that men have a lot of traumas within themselves, and those things are typically expressed through a lot of signs of depression, which aligns with what actually Jeff was saying. Hypersexuality. Hypersexuality tends to be a symptom of depression, and that lack of discipline is a direct component, or direct component works in this case. Is a direct component to you not willing to do the work internally, and that means going to therapy. That means talking about your emotions, because I mean, oftentimes you can go to therapy and just ego shit and just talk about your your ego all the time and just, oh yeah, I'm the best, yada yada yada, and not actually getting any progress done. One question I do want to ask is like, and I want every man to ask themselves this: when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Are you happy?
Sexy piece of chocolate.
Are you? But are you Are you? Yeah, I mean, shit, egotistical. But are you happy with the person that you are and the person that people perceive you to be? I mean,
Thank you.
ultimately,
Yeah, Mike, live your truth.
and
Glittery ass hat.
not saying all that to, oh yeah, you have to appease to everybody else, but you do that work for yourself, and so that you can build meaningful relationships with people. I feel like it's so important that you know that we're not looking for these material things whenever we're here in this life, right? Like, the most important thing when you're here on this earth are the relationships that you build with people, and not just men or other men. You build relationships with everybody. Everybody that you interact with is now a part of your subconscious.
At your
part
funeral,
of
they're
your
not going to
energy.
talk about how much money you made or how many cars or how many people or women that you took over in your lifetime. At your funeral, they're going to talk about who you were as a person. Your character and your legacy lasts a lifetime.
Exactly.
All this shit is going to go away one day, but your name and your legacy and your likeness, how you carried yourself as an individual, will stay throughout the voices of everybody.
Yeah, you don't truly die until people stop talking about you.
The whole die twice thing.
Yeah.
First time in the ground, second time, last time someone says your name.
Yeah. But on that track, man, I kind of lost it. Hold on, I'm coming back to it. Just give me a second. My finger's blue. Just give me a second.
I cannot believe it took you this long to notice your finger was blue. I noticed that shit.
No,
a while
it,
ago.
it was a couple of days ago. I had hammered my finger, but Yeah. Don't make it worse. But oh yeah, it ultimately comes down to discipline and the willingness to actually look into your brain, look into yourself, and really question who you are. And like I said, I've seen this before amongst countless men. Oh yeah, I fuck more hoes than you. None of that shit fucking matters, bro. Who are you as a person?
Oh my God,
It just
bro.
exemplifies the problem. Like, you're treating them as tally marks, as points.
Bro,
on
it
the
don't
board.
fucking matter. Like, these bitches really don't fuck with you like that, bro. They don't see you as somebody that is an actual good person. They don't see you as a person for real. They just see you as somebody to fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Another hole.
dehumanizing. So, I mean, dehumanizing one way, dehumanizing the other. Golden rule: treat people the way you want to be treated. That's why I treat everybody with respect. That's how I was taught. Like, those were the initial things that I was taught, and I just maintained those same principles as I grew up. Yeah. And ultimately, I figured that shit out on my own.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
And I'm happy to be with like-minded people like these young gentlemen here.
I don't like it.
Except Alex, he's a Morehouse bitch.
Oh my God, no, don't bring this shit back.
Talking about what it means to be a man, what it means to be a Morehouse man.
Sissified. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Go cry to your sugar daddy about it.
This man has no loans, bro.
Old ass set for life.
I'm just kidding, though.
Oh no, he made the stripper mad.
I'm just kidding.
People go watch this.
Will Alex commit the deed? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, bro, this episode was lit. You need to check it.
Nah, bro, real shit. Grateful to be around like-minded people, because sometimes I'm not, and it's really it's like, damn, bro, like, y'all don't see the same shit that I see. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, I'll point that shit out to them, but they'll be like, nah, bro, I just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about these hoes. I'm like, shit, all right, bro, shit, whatever. You got it.
That's just
You got it, shit, whatever. It's like, you need therapy. Like, I'll dead ass say, you need therapy.
people talk like that as if like the world is comprised of men and like no women. Like, it was like you almost like talking about it as if like women are just like little coins in a Mario Kart run. Like, it's at that point like you are already setting a terrible precedent going forward because you're not even acknowledging the humanity of the women around you. And it's like, it really does exemplify the problem, every problem.
Well, listen, man. I'll end off saying appreciate everybody that's around you. Appreciate being alive, being able to take a breath. Find oneness in yourself, bro. Because a lot of people have a lot of inner turmoil, and it's visible on a daily basis.
Yes.
Like you can actively see that shit. It's crazy. Yeah, man. That's all I got.
I think that connects with the ideas that we all talked about as well. Just like, you know, the trauma under, like, you know, manifesting yourself through like high sex drives and lack of accountability and lack of respect and understanding of social interaction. Because, you know, I think it's why it's important to have all these, you know, things in mind. And regarding like accountability, if we, like, you know, we said this earlier about like the idea of like growing up in like, you know, different like households, like with one parent absent or having both parents and how that impacts you. And I think, you know, as a society, young people are conditioned, especially young boys, are conditioned in this idea that they have to have a father figure of some kind. Like it's become like an expectation, like it's a requirement type thing. Like, you know, and I think that my issue with like that idea was also, now that I thought about it, it comes from a general understanding of just like, you know, almost like to say like a mother is not enough, like a woman is not enough. But I don't really hear the same intensity of like, you know, that kind of rhetoric the other way around. Like a single mother raising a kid by himself, it's like it's not enough. But like a single father raising a kid without a mother, it's like, oh, he's going above and beyond. Look at that man stepping up.
That boy needs it. That boy needs his mother.
It's a double standard. It's a double standard among men and women.
You can tell how they behave based off of who you're raised by. Like people, like if you take two troubled homes. Mm-hmm. One is being at the head of a single mother and one's being at the head of a single father. Those kids are going to come out with two different perspectives. Mm-hmm. And that's why I always say that you need both.
Yes.
You always need both. Now, for people who choose their affiliations to go elsewhere, you know, fine, but still a two-parent household, in my opinion, it always seems to work. It always seems to work and go hand in hand because you're able to, you know,
as long as it's healthy,
really full community.
As long as it's like an actual healthy marriage, and
it's like, you know, just the space of two figureheads in the home, the space of multiple positive influences around them, and finding a good broad expansion of them.
Like they say, it takes a village. It's not just the folk. Because it's everybody.
The lessons that I've learned, I didn't learn everything from my parents. Yeah. I learned a good amount of things from my parents, but a lot of stuff I took from sports, from other social activities, from band, from school, from life, from church. I've learned so many lessons from so many other peoples and so many other environments that has cultivated me into being the person that I am today.
We are a product of our environment.
Exactly. And so it's not to say that it's like that a woman is not enough. I just think that in general, you need both. If you have one is fine. But one parent is fine. It's totally fine. But I'm saying that having one parent automatically makes the job harder. And then if you don't have a good support system beyond the one parent, it makes it even harder. Because like I said, we've all noticed that like a lot of the things that we can attest to that has helped our success is the privileges that we've had in our lives. Having both parents, having a supportive family, having like a good support system beyond our family has attested and attributed to our success. Not to its entirety, but it carries some type of role. But for the one parent, yeah, it's just harder. So that's why I always say 2 heads is always better than one, and then the support system makes it even way better.
Even more heads is better.
Even more heads is way better.
But what I was getting at, infinite head. When I was getting at though about like the conditioning of like a father figure is, even if you have both parents, like there's still this like ingrained idea that father figures are so essential and so influential that it's, you know, like that was another reason why I strive so much for like the accountability aspect, because think about how easily influenced nowadays with social media and everything, how easily influenced and swayed young people are to these like confidently bullshit speaking father figures, so to speak. Like they're like authoritative male figures, and they try to offer wisdom and knowledge, and young people will latch onto that. Not even just because like they're lacking something. Honestly, some people with like a perfectly stable household will still latch onto that because they want something out of it. They want to feel included with like other people. So like people like Andrew Tate that go out and like spit like what is it to be a Sigma male? What does it mean like being your own bread? Young people. On a quick side note, I have realized that the idea of like being like people saying, you know, the alpha male, sigma male, beta male thing, that's just playing mermaids, but as like adults. Yeah, it's like, what's your mermaid deal? Like I was like, I'm a sigma male, so it's like playing after school with your kids. You're a beta male because I said so. I'm an alpha male, so I'm like way more powerful. Oh yeah, well I'm a sigma male. I could do anything I want. Like it's playing.
Okay, so to your point, I will disagree to the idea of like because I feel like I feel like what you're saying, and I hope I'm not interpreting it incorrectly. Are you saying it's like that it's not necessary? That having a male figure.
No.
Like
No. I'm not saying that it's not necessarily. I'm saying that there's. I'm trying to. What I'm doing is like I'm pointing out a very interesting aspect of society where people are so conditioned to think that it's like hyper necessary, and that it's not that it's not necessary. It's
like
that
they don't
people
put a big enough. Like they put so much emphasis on the father figure, but they don't highlight the also importance of a mother figure as well. Same degree.
Yes, and also just the idea that like it makes it almost like they're conditioning people to listen to anything resembling a father figure because their wisdom is infallible, their wisdom is so helpful. Even if you have father figures, like he's like you can never have too many father figures type thing. So young people will latch on to these voices like Andrew Tate, like that 260-pound weightlifting, whatever his name is, that thinks he can fight boxers. But like,
Bradley Martin.
yes, like people that like they and they're like, and these young people in their core, like these young men in their core believe like, they see this like fictionalized like vision of success and like, oh, this is what it means to be a man. I want to emulate.
Tell
that.
them.
I'm 260 though, brother.
They want to emulate that so badly. And
society, corporations show this idea, and these young kids gravitate towards people that embody that.
And because of that, I think that, with your friends, with your like people you associate with, you should don't just let them be deep in their ignorance. Like if you see something, say something. Like because you don't know what level of upbringing they had in their house. You don't know who has influenced them in the past. Like I knew one. I see this because from personal experience. As an example, we had one young kid join like our club, and he himself didn't think this, but like he had like a dumb, stupid roommate that tried to convince him that Andrew Tate was right about everything. Like men have it so hard, men are victims, blah 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 blah. Like just like shift the blame, shift like the narrative type thing. Further added the problem, and he because he didn't know, like he didn't have any other reference point. He saw like merit in the things, but didn't see past the fine print. And we could have just been mad and let him do that. But no, we were like, no, you need to understand the responsibility of what you're saying and understand the gravity of it. So we talked to him, we talked him out, we showed him the other side of it, let him make that assumption, and he was like, okay, now I see the other side of it.
Okay.
Hold yourselves accountable.
I will say because my initial point. I had an initial point, but I think I still have to change it and change my wording. Because I was initially going to say I always believe that you need the presence of a mother and father. But like I said, that's not for that doesn't coincide with everybody because that's negating people of the LGBTQ plus community. But like 2-woman household, 2-man household, like the structure is just different. Mm-hmm. I always say that you always need multiple perspectives, a good positive perspective, not just saying, oh, you need a father figure, so go listen to Andrew Tate or go listen to somebody here, or like just giving a reference or somebody. Like I'm not saying that. I'm saying find the person that's in your community and just be observant, even if you're like, I'm not saying like to go be like an apprentice under him. I'm trying to guide towards something that's positive in somebody that's walking in a way that you should take notes from. Not even to say that you should follow him around and try to emulate him. Mm-hmm. I'm saying look at how they're carrying themselves and then see how you can take those and apply them to your life. Because like I said, I didn't learn everything from my father. I learned things from my father, and I learned things from my uncles, my male cousins, my grandfather. I learned a lot of lessons from them, but those are multiple male figureheads. And I took each and every little detail. I took the things that I wanted, and I kept them for myself. The things that I didn't want, I excluded them, and I'm able to cultivate and customize a way that I'm able to carry myself as a man based off of the figureheads that I've acquired in my life.
AKA, don't follow a certain script if you internally don't agree or align with that philosophy. If there are things that people say, this is what it means to be a man, and you truly, to your core, do not want to do that, you shouldn't have to do that.
You also even if you're not sure, like you should. I think that the idea that like young men should all like listen so much to, like the wisdom of older men kind of thing. There is merit to that. There's merit to wisdom that comes from multiple different points, but it's not to say like trying to like equate or prioritize like the female or the mother's perspective or the mother's wisdom. It's more also just like understanding that generationally speaking, we're modifying gender roles. Gender roles are changing constantly with with people's identities, with people's or the formation of their family, and that's the reason why I'm not as quick to go for like the whole father figure thing, because like you said,
society itself, bro.
Some families have
It really don't matter.
some families have two moms, some families have two dads.
I say the structure is different from everybody, but I will always go out and say get as many figureheads as you can possibly get.
Especially something that challenges like an outside perspective. Like,
Right. Get as many different viewpoints and references. That way you can get multiple. Because I think a lot of the issues is that when you're getting issues from one source, you're never gonna be able to be as accurate. It's like writing a paper. You can't base a paper off of one book. You can base a paper off of multiple.
Bing
books.
bong.
Multiple references, multiple different anecdotes and adaptations that help make your perspective more accurate, because you're getting multiple perspectives.
You're right.
precisely.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, what are some just straight call to actions that we can
Do's and don'ts.
yeah, just some simple do's and don'ts that can just make your life better.
Make everyone's life better.
Make everyone's life
Make a better environment.
Max, what are some do's and don'ts that you want to charge to a man?
Listen, man. Y'all niggas need to start looking at the big picture and start treating women like people. That's a major do. Start treating everybody. I appreciate that, man. Give a little applause, you know what I'm saying?
that's
You feel
facts.
me? But don'ts is stop being a fucking dickhead. Stop being so damn hard-headed. Stop being so egotistical. Stop being so materialistic. That's a tough one.
Learn to be an active listener.
Yeah, that too. Learn to be an active listener. That's a do, though. That's your do. Do to do.
Do.
Mountain Dew.
Do.
Lucas?
One big don't is don't take everything so personally. Don't take rejection.
Another one.
Don't take rejection personally. Don't take
Yeah, stop being
fear. Don't take the woman's cautionary approach or fearful like reaction personally.
Stop being a bitch.
Stop being a bitch. Don't just don't. It's very likely not about you, especially if you didn't do anything. Especially if you're just minding your business. It's not about you, and trying to like take that personally and then just turning around and like making the women out to be a bad guy because of how you felt. That is only going to aggravate the problem, especially because I think in general there's big portions of society that are just looking for ways to blame women for things and make it easier for their rhetoric. And adding fuel to that fire is just going to move us backwards. A big do is look out for each other. Look out for the women in your circles, in your life. Not just your partner, not just the people, not just your family. Look out for your friends. Look out for, if you go on a group and go clubbing, look out for them. Because you don't have to, it's not about babysitting. It's not about, being the parent of the group. Don't make it so negative. Really,
That's a different conversation.
You can literally do a simple thing as if you guys are in a group, you could just be on the outside type shit.
observe, watch.
Like
Keep
not
your eyes
like
open.
on the outside. Like if you
Keep your eyes
guys
open.
you guys are at a bar, right? You guys you guys are at a bar. You have everybody inside of you. Then you have another person that's on the outside, kind of on the same vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of in a protected manner.
Gatekeep,
You know what I'm saying?
gaslight, girl boss, or something. I don't know. But no, he's right. No, just look out. Like play gatekeeper a little bit for your friends that are uncomfortable. Play be an extra set of eyes, extra set of like wandering eyes for their drinks, the people around them. Measure the vibes, because at the end of the day, it's not like you're watching out for the women. You're watching out for your friends. It just so happens that these friends in particular are more likely to be targeted for a slew of horrible things. So, I put it to you this way. Every time a woman steps out the door, they have like a million different things they got to think about for themselves and for the women with them. You have like maybe 5. Add a few more things to your plate. It's not going to kill you. Maybe 6 on a good day. But yeah, that's my do and don't.
All right. Jeff.
Alex.
Okay.
Uno reverse.
Oh, it was a reverse. So, okay. A big don't. Don't expect a medal for being a good person. Do not expect to be praised for being a decent man, a decent human being. Don't. So a big do is respect the no. Respect the no in the sense of like, if you going up to shoot your shot and she says I'm good or I'm not interested or whatever, just take it and move on.
Dog, no means no. Even if you think she's being playful.
No
be
means
safe.
I don't know how many times like that simple no means no. It is so simple, but then we be so hurt and our ego and our pride and our manhood is so fragile, and it's just like, bro, like if you reacting off of a no, like who knows what else you can react off of. Mm-hmm. So respect the no when she says no.
She being a bitch.
A big do is a big do is learn to be an active listener and learn to be observant. I will assume the responsibility of providing a good example of what it means to be a decent man and a decent human being, and I will always do my best to provide the safety and security of people who need it, for the women who need it. If they ask for it and they want it, then I'll give it to them. If they want perspective and they ask for it, I'll give it to them. If they don't want any of that, if they don't want any of that, fine. But I'm not gonna over push or be persistent or overwhelm somebody with something if they didn't ask for it. Or if they do ask for it, I'll provide it and then I'll keep it pushing.
Which is another big don't. Men, don't mansplain women's feelings on how they should feel or act to women. Like,
Stop doing that shit.
I guarantee you, anything you might think about saying, they've already thought about it.
Smarter than you.
Because they have to think about this every day. Like it's not just that they wake up one day and just know. It's not even just one day that their mom decides to tell them, watch out for the men. No, they grow up with a different set of standards and expectations of like how to operate. School dress code. It's in little things. School dress codes. Teachings from other women. Ding, ding, ding. Teaching from other people around them, like this idea that they are, even from a young age, have to grow up with the expectation that one day when they will leave the house, all those lessons are going to come into play. So, just don't mansplain it to them, because you, as a man, woke up one day and heard it from somebody and you're grasping at the straw. You're scratching the surface. So don't think that you know better about it, because trust me, that's just to make things worse. It's going to make you more of an enemy than an ally. Yeah. Sorry, that was a little tangent.
Think darkness is your ally.
All right, now
Finish it up, Jeff.
One do is be disciplined. If we're talking about, as far as being a man, like, put standards for yourself. You know what I mean? Get up early, get things done, make things a priority, don't procrastinate, and handle things you have to handle. Like, dead ass. Be disciplined, whether it's emotionally, physically, sexually, all of that. Just know who you are, set standards for yourself, and stick to those. Now, a don't going along with discipline, also don't be that hard on yourself either if you maybe lack in a certain area. Don't put unrealistic expectations on yourself either, because then that's going to lack confidence in you. And that's where a lot of these problems going in, and what we've been talking about is a lack of confidence in yourself. There's a difference between cockiness and confidence. Confidence is humble, knowing that you can handle some stuff. But if it's time to take a step back and let someone else shine, you do that. But when it's time for you to get up there, you handle your shit like you know what the hell you doing. But have confidence in yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, but be disciplined at the same time. It's a balance to it.
Very true. Very true.
Oh God.
Well, we're wrapping this up now. We've uncovered a few layers in this ogre of a discussion, but
Ogres are like onions.
to wrap it up,
Onions have layers.
onions do have layers. Cake has layers too. But the thing is, the topic, the title of this episode is what it is to be a man, and we haven't even asked that question. So I would like all of us to answer to our own, like in our own perspective, in our own opinion. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to be a man? Because I think at the end of the day, we can talk about the trashy examples of men. We can talk about the fear that people experience. But, at the end of the day, that's one question that we should definitely answer before we sign off. So, who would like to tell our adoring public what it means to them to be a man?
I don't think it's so much of what it means to be a man, but what is the type of man you want to be? Is a question
I was gonna start it because I was gonna say, being a man is not like a physical state of being. It is an idea, and everybody has their own idea of what it means, but it all kind of follows some similarities. So that's why they all jumble it up to say this is what it means to be a man. But my idea, my philosophy of what it means to be a man is being a man of your word, a man of integrity, being a man that's dependable, a man who knows how to lead and how to lead his family the right way. Even if that doesn't mean that you're at the forefront of everything or if you're at the back end, it's knowing how to make sure all the pieces in your family structure work. It's about providing that protection and security for your family, for your loved ones. And it's about assuring the structure of your household is sound, and ensuring and knowing that as long as the structure of your home, not even just in your physical home, but in your personal being or in your family or in your job, making sure that everything is secure and making sure that you're able to thrive and have the abilities to thrive for yourself. So that's my philosophy on manhood.
Not all at once.
Am I going next? Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Cool.
Bobby.
Man, I don't know. I have a lot. I always have a lot to say, especially right now. But what it means to be a man is a question that I've always kind of thought about. Growing up and into manhood, getting a little older. It's a lot of things. Everything Alex said is correct. I grew up, with the idea of, gentlemanly conduct. So that was a big part of it as well. But a lot of people don't really know what that means. It's been changing. To me, being a man is being safe. It is being a safe person, a safe space for people that come into your orbit. Because even with the changing societal expectations and norms, at the end of the day, due to the expectations and due to the lack of, things that we have to deal with by comparison to women, for example, I think that men have a responsibility to convey that sense of safety, where it's like if everything else is going to shit, everything else is falling apart, you are rock solid, dependable, because of those feelings of integrity and respect and responsibility. And it's different for everybody. You know, people also challenge the idea of what masculinity is. And I think that it's not about being in touch with your feminine. It's not so much like either being in touch with the feminine side or being hyper masculine. It is being comfortable in your own skin and knowing that regardless of how you are and how you portray yourself, you are still a man. And it is important to just, open yourself up and don't try to be something. Just be yourself. Be who you are and provide that space and security to those around you, because it'll make them feel better. It'll make yourself feel better, and everybody will grow if everyone follows that example. So if I had to put it into words, that would be mine.
Man, you guys are so making such profound statements, man. So cool.
Let me guess. Don't be a bitch is your big thing.
Oh God, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No.
He's kidding, but he's being serious.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, both what Alex and Lucas have said so far is correct, but I feel like that's also kind of the materialistic idea of what our society wants us to be. For me personally, I feel like being a man is nothing but being a good person. Nothing being a good person.
Speak in front of the damn mic.
It's nothing but being a good person. You have to have compassion. You have to be willing to listen to people's problems. You gotta be a loving person, caring, of course. You gotta be. On the other side, you have to be logical. You have to be a little stoic. You got to keep your cool in certain situations. And as I've developed into the man that I am, it's kind of helped me realize that I'm not just a man here. I'm a meat bag. I'm a soul, but I'm a meat bag. You know what I'm saying? I just so happen to be of the biological male. I have perspective from a biological male perspective. So it's just treat people with kindness. If people be a safe space. And also be willing to how do I want to say this? How do I say this?
Allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Yeah, man. Well, I do want to give a quick shout out to my girlfriend, Elise, because she's like even
There's no all button yet.
Aww.
We'll give you this one.
Yeah. Even through because I feel like over these past couple years, I've definitely developed more so in a man, and she's been there to really, I don't want to necessarily just say help me, but yeah, she's been there to help me and kind of give me a better perspective from women's side. Even though I have a decent amount of women friends and I've dealt with bullshit, but now I'm seeing it from a perspective of somebody that I care about deeply, and it's okay, I can't be too overbearing, but I also still want to protect you with my life. So, yeah. Yada.
Respect.
Jeff.
Yeah. So to finish this off, man, I can't, say what it means to be a man, but what I can say is what I want for me personally. I can't tell you what to do, but the type of
I can. Don't be a bitch.
I ain't gonna tell you what to do, bro. You and your own man figure it out. But take this, with a grain of salt. And if you agree with it, go ahead. But the type of dude I want to be, man, is to be approachable. I want people to come to me and feel comfortable to just say what's up. Because I've gotten that before, especially from some of my women friends and my ex-girlfriend, was that I seemed unapproachable just because of how stoic I can look. But once they got to know me, like, oh, you like cool as hell. You funny.
Oh God, boy, what?
You funny, but but also, you know, just
You
be
funny.
aware of your presence. So approachable, you know, have people feel comfortable around you. Being, you know, like Alex said, being a man of your word in the sense of when you a dude, people take your word for like gospel almost. Like if you say something, stand on it. Stand on it, but be humble enough that someone comes with logic that can counteract what you think. Be humble enough to be like, you know what? I'm going to take that into consideration.
1,000,000%.
You know, don't be so closed-minded because I'm a man, I got to think that. Nah, if they come with something like, you know, I never thought about it like
That's
that.
a good idea.
Take into consideration. All three of these men here will tell you that when they have conversations with me, it makes them think differently than how they thought before. Am I right or am I wrong on that?
Absolutely.
You're all right.
I'm afraid if I say yes, I'm gonna boost your ego and ruin that humble.
So I'm gonna say no. I
So
don't.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say, you know what? I don't really think the same. I
Hit
think
or miss.
exactly the same. I'm identical, mirror image.
Be humble also. But yeah.
We do have a lot of critical thinking in these conversations.
We
Absolutely.
do.
There's
but
a lot
Like
of-
I said, there's so much, and we need to get to unpack everything. But
That's
we
what
do-
After Hours is for.
We do hope that with more conversations like this, you continue to think and be open to more conversations and just all around. Just we need men to do better. Yes, and I think that's something we can all agree with. And we'll close off with that. So
And as a final send off, one last thing as a PSA, because we've said a lot of call to actions, a lot of everything.
Don't be a bitch.
And something Max said that made me think about it is it is important. Masculinity is important to be, you know, be vulnerable, be emotional, because people expect you not to be. But here's the thing: people will try to knock you down for being vulnerable. They'll try to put you on this pedestal that you're supposed to be strong and unfeeling. So in doing that part for you to be vulnerable, find a group of people that you can be vulnerable with. And then explore that aspect of your masculinity.
Take time getting there, though. Don't just spill it off rip. Take your time with it. Really get to know these people. And then when you feel comfortable enough, go ahead and be vulnerable.
Yes.
for sure. All right, y'all. Well, as always, we thank y'all for tuning into another episode with your boys, the Squares, Foursquare. We appreciate y'all rocking with us as always. Make sure y'all continue to share, like, subscribe to all of our pages.
Share with your sneaky links and entanglements.
Your
as
sneaky
always.
leaks, entanglements. Share. Honestly, real shit directly. Share this with other men.
Share
With
this
other
with your
men
brothers,
that need to hear this. Your brothers,
nephews,
your parents, your
cousins.
nephews, cousins, everybody. Like, share this with the people because we need more open dialogue with this. Because with more conversations and more call to actions with these, we can do a lot better, and our world will be a lot better and a lot safer.
Share this with your male sneaky links and male entanglements as well.
Exactly, if you got them. So,
And then talk about why you deserve more in your life.
on that note,
You deserve love.
thank you, Luffy. Appreciate you, Luffy, for being a guest on the show.
What are we?
Now get back to your ship. Now get back to your ship and continue to sail the seven seas.
You really need to watch
Bye.
One Piece.
All right, y'all. Giddy up.
Please watch One Piece for the love of God, all that is.
He said what's up to the camera.
Stay undercover. Stay undercover, I'm stealth. My whole life I kept on waiting for shit. Had to learn to go get it myself. Yeah, I'll get this shit by myself. Yeah, I'll make a way for myself. Yeah, I see you got a new dude and that's cool, but I promise we fuck I won't tell. Yeah, know that you miss it, I tell. Because you still hit up my cell. So just let us out of ourselves. Cause I think I'm losing brain cells. Cause you're toxic, so toxic, still want you myself. Wanted that girl for some years now. Now she unbuckled my belt. And see that she like how I felt. I'm on a mission, no I cannot fail. Killer but not Freddy Krueger. That means I kill something else. Different is how I maneuver. I am like nobody else. A loner, so do not look for me. Cause I gotta look for myself. I do what I did this shit for me. I don't live for nobody. together. Stay under. Yeah.